Well, panic-stricken people running to the internet for some tips on how to avoid getting that deadly coronavirus. But a lot of misinformation is spreading around like wildfire. So here to separate the fact versus the fiction on the virus is family physician Dr. Jennifer Caudle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So I've been looking forward to this segment, so let's get right to it.
Okay.
The first thing that people are hearing, face masks prevent contracting the virus.
Fiction. In this country, the CDC says that our risk in the U.S. is still very low, which is a good thing. It's not spreading out in the community, coronavirus, and thus we do not need to be wearing face masks. This is important because in places like Amazon and other retailers, they're selling out. And that's a problem because some people will need face masks. Now, I will say, Heather, there are some places like in China, for example, face masks are quite necessary. Don't get me wrong. But in this country, no, they're not recommended for use at this time.
Not necessarily yet. No. So is it safe to receive a letter or a package from China? That's another thing that's circulating.
Yeah, so fact, and that it is safe at this point. So the CDC thinks that the likelihood of coronavirus being transmissible from a package or a sort of a stationary item through transit is very low. And right now there aren't any reports that I know of, that we know of coronavirus being transmitted this way. So we think it's safe to receive packages.
But do they really know how it's, transferred from one person to another?
Yeah, so we do know it's upper respiratory droplets. So it's generally like person to person respiratory droplets, almost like the common cold or flu. And that's why I say, and the CDC says, we think the likelihood of the virus staying on a package, remaining on a package
all the
and
way from China,
and still being infective is very low.
Okay, so we always hear things of this type online.
Yes.
Eating garlic, rinsing your nose with saline, or putting on sesame oil help prevent the virus.
This is fiction. This is a big old fiction. I'm glad we're talking about this because right now there are a lot of sort of what I would call these sort of sham cures coming up online. Guys, I would hope that if these were the cure to coronavirus, we would have nipped this in the bud. This is not the case. There is no vaccine for coronavirus. There is no particular treatment, although scientists are working on both. The best we can do is prevention, washing our hands, staying away from people who are sick, close contact that's within 6 feet, coughing, sneezing, and
before we get to that, though, what about isolation? Isolation, is that helpful for prevention?
Yeah, I would say that's a fiction, again, for those in this country. If you have not traveled overseas or to a place that has coronavirus and you are not sick. So if you are healthy, you haven't traveled, you're in this country, there's no reason at this point to isolate yourself.
Okay, so get back to the prevention.
The prevention. No, so I'm glad we're talking about this. So this is what we can do. And some people have said to me, Dr. Jen, it doesn't seem like it's that much. But no, it's a big deal. Washing our hands, honestly, there are a lot of people who still don't actually wash their hands incorrectly. 20 seconds, soap and water. If you don't have that, use hand sanitizer, very important. Stay home if you're sick. Please do not go to work. And if you're sneezing or coughing, sneeze or cough into a tissue or into your elbow so you're not getting it on your hands, the droplets, and then spreading it. But I also say, Heather, lots of doctors on TV, we've been talking about getting the flu shot. Why? Not because it prevents the coronavirus, but because we're still having tens of thousands of deaths from the flu, and that's something we can do something about.
So and we're not hearing a lot about that right now because we're hearing about the coronavirus.
That's right, but we can't forget.
Yeah, I was traveling recently, and so I did have the mask ready on the plane just in case I heard people coughing, but that's something I always do. And to monitor it, make sure that you can look at like the CDC website, things like that.
CDC, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.